Issues at hand.
Yes, good morning once again and welcome to Issues at Hand. With me today, Hope Nyongereza, and our guest is Mr. David Nagosi, the program manager of NUDIPI. And today we are here to talk about addressing the election violence in the special interest groups. Now, remember earlier, the Electoral Commission had brought out registration for the special interest groups. And of course, among the special interest groups, we had the youth, the older persons, and people with disabilities. But today we are going to be focusing on mainly people with disabilities. As you can see, we have our guest from NUDIPI right here. And of course, we do understand that the violence during the registration was a bit heated up. We saw what was happening in the news, and it affected you in one way or another. But of course, before we dive into that, you are welcome, Mr. David.
Thank you. I just want to confirm my name is David Nagosi. I'm the Program Officer, Human Rights, not Program Manager at the National Union of Disabled Persons of Uganda. It's a pleasure this morning to engage with our viewers over disability inclusion in the electoral processes or participation of persons with disabilities in the electoral processes, especially in the recently conducted party elections, the processes going on by Electoral Commission. This gives us an opportunity to paint a picture to the public. How is it as far as persons with disabilities is concerned?
Now, to start off, would first want to know if there was inclusivity in the recently concluded registration exercise.
Yeah, thank you very much. First and foremost, those of you that are listening to us, I work with NUDIPI, and NUDIPI is a national umbrella organization for persons with disabilities in this country. We strive to see that there is a just and fair society where persons with disabilities live prosperous and dignified lives. And we do this through advocacy for the rights of persons with disabilities. In a unified voice for improved livelihoods. Under advocacy, one of the areas is to making sure that persons with disabilities are meaningfully participating in the various electoral processes, including the ongoing electoral processes. So back to the question, as far as the registration is concerned. Well, I must first of all note that Uganda as a country has enabling frameworks, which frameworks have informed our participation in the electoral processes. We have frameworks that have fostered our participation from the village to the parish, sub-county, the district level. And that has seen us be represented, male and female. And also, we also have frameworks at the national level where persons with disabilities are represented by the 5 members of parliament. And one of them must be a female representing women with disabilities. So as far as now is concerned, we are in the electoral process. And which electoral process started with the roadmap being put out by the Electoral Commission. People going to verify their names in the voters register. At some point, persons with disabilities a bit struggled because of the little time that was given. But progressively, these were able to go and verify their details in the voters register. I also did verify, but complaints across noted that time was not enough. And then right now, we see that as we prepare for the 2026 general elections, I'm cutting it a bit short, we have processes by the different political parties, whereby every party is preparing themselves for the upcoming elections. And so far, we also see that the Electoral Commission, still in their roadmap, has started the elections for special interest groups, which include, but not limited to, the elections for youth, for elderly persons, and for persons with disabilities. And I will categorically speak towards persons with disabilities. First and foremost, I speak with a live experience as a person with disability.
Yes.
2, I speak with a live experience as a person with disability having participated in the electoral processes for persons with disabilities. And at the party level, I must note we have been having some challenges.
Yes.
We have been having some challenges. We've been having persons with disabilities that have been masquerading as persons with disabilities. Some persons without disabilities that have been masquerading as persons with disabilities.
Yes.
Which has been very outrageous. Very, very outrageous. This has been manifested in the elections of representatives of persons with disabilities in the party primaries, especially NRM at village level, at the parish level, at the sub-county level, and also at the district level. As NUDIP, we have also got several reports across the country, because for us we work as a network from persons with disabilities that have been feeding us with information. And we even have a NUDIP hub, that's the WhatsApp group, which comprises persons with disabilities across the country. Persons without disabilities masquerading as persons with disabilities, vying for posts of persons with disabilities. This in the party primaries, especially the NRM, has been a big challenge. It has been a big challenge. We have been forced to write some letters to some of the NRM district registrars in certain districts after getting these complaints. And also the initiatives that we have come up with as NUDIP were able to do a press conference on this. We are also able to bring this formally to the attention of the NRM leadership under the auspices of Dr. Tanga Odoi, who mans the Electoral Commission. That's the Electoral Commission chairperson. But also, we have been able to share this with Electoral Commission formally. It is very challenging.
Have you gotten so far?
It is very challenging for people who are not disabled to come out as disabled. People outside there, that is one of the worst sins that you could do. What if you get the disability? For us as persons with disabilities, we don't wish that you people without disabilities join the club of the disabled. Because the challenges are dire. So we shared this with the Electoral Commission, and the Electoral Commission, as you recall, came out very emphatically, and they did make a press conference. I remember before the village elections for special interest groups, especially for persons with disabilities, the spokesperson Electoral Commission came out and was speaking to the country and was warning all those who intend to masquerade as persons with disabilities when they are not persons with disabilities to not do it. So this has been one of the big challenges that we have been facing, and I know now we are in the nominations for parish level, for special interest groups. We also would like to hope that the same is not going to happen, because when that happens, it takes away the interest, it takes away the opportunities of persons with disabilities, but 2, it makes people be represented by people that are not supposed to represent them. Which is very challenging. It goes contrary to Article 32 of our Constitution, the Republic of Uganda, on affirmative action in favor of marginalized groups, where persons with disabilities are among them. So that has been one of the big challenges, and as NUDIP, we continue calling upon persons with disabilities outside there to be very vigilant in this electoral process. would like to still call upon the Electoral Commission continue being very keen, especially the electoral registrars outside there that are manning or that are supervising these special interest groups elections across the country to continue being very vigilant and making sure the right people are contesting and the right people are representing a particular right group.
Yes. And how do you think would be the right way, just to prove that this is not a person masquerading it?
So, well, how do we prove that this person is masquerading, right? So, one, there are some initiatives which, in my considered opinion, Electoral Commission and the various parties that did not adhere to.
Yes.
And in the 2030, 31 whatsoever, we should see that these are addressed. The readiness by the different political parties to be sensitized on disability inclusion,
Yes.
on what amounts to disability, should have been very key.
Yes.
In other words, I mean that the Chairperson Electoral Commission, NRM, ought to have sensitized the NRM registrars in every district on what amounts to disability
Yes.
within the provisions of Schedule 3 of the Person with Disability Act. Schedule 3 of the Person with Disability Act enlists the different disability categories.
Yeah.
Which categories are supposed to participate in the electoral processes, in the upcoming elections, and in the ongoing electoral processes.
Yes.
The challenge now that we have is that this was not adhered to. That's why you'll come across the Electoral Commission, the NRM Electoral Commission registrars, not knowing about disability, and people are masquerading, and it goes on.
Yes.
Secondly, and this cuts across to all the different parties that we have now. So it is a very big eye-opener in the future conduct of the party elections. And for those that are still in the process, as I read, is it PPF, Democratic Front, and others, I want to encourage you to be very vigilant when it comes to the conduct of elections for persons with disabilities. Where possible, please seek support. So Electoral Commission also was not so vigilant enough.
Yes.
Maybe time is now. Now that we have opened up their eyes.
Yes.
We need to see to it that the different Electoral Commission registrars across the country in the different districts are also sensitized on disability.
Yes.
When they are sensitized on disability, they are going to give technical guidance to the officers below them. But if they have not been given such, then it means they are also going to continue acting in oblivion.
Yeah.
And that will continue to be a challenge. So, what is very critical to us as persons with disabilities in addressing this is open-mindedness by the different structures to get to know about what they don't know.
Yes.
We feel this is one of the ways that should have addressed this situation. But two is open-mindedness to work with persons with disabilities through their representative organizations.
Yes.
Now that we are facing it as a reality. It does no harm. For example, for us as NUDIP, we are spread across the country.
Yes.
In all the districts. We have the National Council for Persons with Disabilities spread across the country. We have organizations of persons with disabilities spread across the country.
Yes.
So, whenever there is an issue to do with not knowing how to determine whether this person had a disability or not, it is as quickly as engaging with NUDIPI. Give NUDIPI a phone call. Give maybe the chairperson, this union of persons abilities, a phone call. Maybe give the chairperson, disability council of that particular district a phone call.
Yes.
That, in my considered opinion, is one of the ways of making sure that we are bridging the gaps that we are facing, especially persons without on persons abilities, especially on persons without disabilities, masquerading as persons with disabilities. And that readiness is very critical.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. David Nagosi. Now, of course, we are talking about addressing the election violence, or should I say the challenges that people with disabilities faced, especially during the registration process and elections. Right now, we are going for a short commercial break, but please do stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Issues at hand. This is Church of Uganda Family TV. Enriching lives. Regulated by the Uganda Communications Commission.
Osibyo tyano omulabe waffe wa Church of Uganda Family TV eddakiika erimu yokka eyakava ku ssaawa 12 ez'olweggulo.
Kwaniriza nnyo omulabi wa Church of Uganda Family TV essaawa ziba 12.
This is Church of Uganda Family TV. Enriching lives. Regulated by the Uganda Communications Commission. Issues at hand.
Yes, welcome back. And of course, in studio, I have Mr. David Nagosi, Program Manager of Human Rights. Program Officer, Human Rights at NUDIPI. And of course, we are talking about election violence, or should I say the challenges that people with disabilities faced during registration and are facing during the electoral process. Now, we were here talking and you told me that there are very many reports of people masquerading. Now, is NUDIPI planning to take any legal action on these people faking to have disabilities?
Thank you very much. First and foremost, NUDIPI has not just sat. We are not just in our comfort zone, but there is an action that we have taken already.
Yes.
And that is still in the spirit of ensuring that we have a just and fair society.
Yes.
For persons with disabilities in this country. We have formally written to Electoral Commission expressing formal grievances, expressing the challenges that persons with disabilities are going through, that have gone through in the electoral processes, more so in the NRM, in the party primaries, including the NRM. So a formal letter already has been shared with the Electoral Commission. And then also in that formal letter, we did advise the Electoral Commission on what should be done in the meantime to bridge the gap.
Yes.
But secondly, we also advised the Electoral Commission on what should be done in future.
Yes.
But thirdly, we also advised Electoral Commission that look here, we are available
Yes.
at any time from now henceforth. So make the best use of us.
Yes.
We also took an initiative and engaged with the NRM party, and we formally wrote to them about the status or the status quo when it comes to the masquerading of people without disabilities in the party primaries.
Yes.
The NRM party is yet to respond to us, but so far, with what we have heard from the Electoral Commission, they are not taking it up lightly.
Yes.
They are handling it. They are following it up.
Yes.
Because, like I said, a press conference already was called by Electoral Commission. I saw the spokesperson before the conduct of the special interest groups at the village level came out emphatically to warn all those masquerading as persons with disabilities when they are not two. And that was as a result of the formal complaint which we lodged into Electoral Commission. So, we are still waiting.
Yes.
We are still observing the process as it unfolds, especially at the parish level.
Yes.
I think it must be going to happen soon. Nominations, I think, have nominations started. I think they were 20th and 29th.
Yes.
So we are going to see in the actual conduct of the elections through our persons a bit across the country whether again shall have people masquerading as persons a bit when they are not. Yes.
Oh, wow. And what would you advise, people with disabilities, fellow people with disabilities, how can they be on the lookout? Because they may just happen to, vote for this person and they don't know that this person actually does not have a disability.
Yes.
And they are,
Yeah, thank you very much. I think, Hope, you note a very critical point. Persons with disabilities, you play a critical role, especially those that are viewing us and listening to us right now. You play a critical role when it comes to your affairs. You have a slogan, and since I'm among it, I subscribe to you. We have our slogan. There is nothing for us without us.
Yes.
You play a critical role in diligently establishing, in diligently knowing who is a person with a disability.
Yes.
You play a critical role in substantiating who is not a person with disability. Therefore, with that role that you play, you need to come out and be very vigilant in every processes, to be the eye openers for Electoral Commission officers, to be the eye openers for the party registrars, especially those that are still conducting the party elections.
Yes.
And bring out, identify whoever is masquerading as a person with disability when he or she does not have a disability. You play a critical role to whistleblow to Electoral Commission officers that a particular person going to vote does not have a disability. You play a critical role to Electoral Commission that a particular person who has been nominated for this particular position does not have a disability. By doing so, you are going to be helping yourselves to maximize the space which has been provided for us, or which has been provided for you as a result of the historic injustices, the historic exclusion, to making sure that you are part and parcel of the decision-making table. But if you do not come out very openly if you fear persons without disabilities. If you are among the clique of persons without disabilities causing havoc, then you are in the wrong place. So very emphatically, persons with disabilities are supposed to come out and whistleblow.
Yes.
They are supposed to identify these disabilities in the various electoral processes at the party level and also in the different polling stations. Work very closely with the Electoral Commission registrars at the village, at the parish level, at the sub-county, and also at the district level.
Yes.
Like the way NUDIPI is working very closely with Electoral Commission at the national level to whistleblow to them that, look here, this and this is going on.
Yes.
In my opinion, this is going to enable persons with disabilities across the country to making sure that the right positions are being occupied by the right people.
Yes.
That's my take.
And to the political parties out there, what do you have to say to them?
Political parties outside there as well still are supposed to continue being vigilant. And like I said at the beginning, the various officers conducting elections at different levels are supposed to have an awareness on disability.
Yes.
The party officials, the party electoral commission officials, they are supposed to have some level of awareness about disability. And so if they don't have, they have a lot of support around them. It only takes them an extra mile to seek that support.
Yes.
The support of NUDIPI, the support of other organizations of persons with disabilities is very critical.
Yes.
All that's supposed to be done is meaningful consultation.
Yes.
Meaningful consultation should cut across by Electoral Commission, should cut across by the different electoral party officials manning elections at various levels.
Yes.
When that is done, then we are going to make sure that this country is elected by people that are supposed to elect them, especially persons with disabilities, and the different offices are having the right people that have been rightly elected. People that have been rightly elected, and people that are rightly representing the views of persons with disabilities. Yes.
Okay. Then, of course, we do understand that elections have started today and are running up to the 5th of July. What do you expect? What is expectation after the whole thing? Special interest groups?
Yes. So, well, thank you. The process is still going on, and for us, what we expect as NUDIPI is persons with disabilities across the country participating in all these processes. It is a right for persons, it is a human right to participate in the electoral processes, and for us as NUDIPI, we are rightly calling upon our persons with disabilities across the country to participate in these electoral processes, because that's when, one, that we can change leadership, two, that's only when we can have good leaders, three, that's only when we can have the right people that are representing us, the right people that are leading us at various levels. So for us as NUDIPI, we are encouraging persons with disabilities across the country to participate in all these electoral processes.
Yes.
Because political participation is a right, rightly provided for in Article 29 of the Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities, with the state providing the safeguards to persons with disabilities to participate in these electoral processes by persons with disabilities, by making sure that information is available to them about the conduct of the elections. Communication is made to them on time, when, where, how to participate, and by making sure that there are facilities in place to enable their participation.
Yes.
In terms of making sure that where the elections are taking place is accessible, by making sure that these are supported, especially those that may not be able to vote for themselves, these are participating. So we are aware this is going on, and as NUDIP, working together with organizations of persons with disabilities across the country, we are encouraging persons with disabilities to participate.
Yes.
We only want to call upon for more awareness raising, more voter awareness towards persons with disabilities in ways that are inclusive to them. We call upon Electoral Commission in all the voter sensitization materials on TVs, at least go there with a sign language interpreter when you are passing on information for the upcoming elections, because we have persons with hearing impairments that need to benefit from this information. In 2021, due to the virtual voter awareness, we had challenges by our persons with hearing impairments who are not at par with others. Of course, that was all brought about by COVID-19 surge.
Yes.
Yeah, but right now, we call upon all the parties to making sure that persons with disabilities are part and parcel of all these processes, including the dissemination of inclusive voter awareness information, rather civic education across the country. We also would like to call upon the different leaders of persons with disabilities at various levels to mobilize persons with disabilities to participate in these electoral processes. And that's where the family members, the caretakers, the guardians become key across the country to making sure that they support persons with disabilities to go and cast their votes. We would like to still call upon the various actors across the country, be it civil society organizations with different interventions, to making sure that in your programs, be it civic education, persons with disabilities are part and parcel.
Yes.
When we do all that, and also without leaving out the local leadership, the LC1 chairpersons, without leaving out religious leaders, when we do all this, we are going to making sure that no one is left behind within the sustainable development principle as far as Agenda 2030 is concerned.
Yes.
That's my thinking, and that's my humble take.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. David. And of course, that has been Mr. David Nagosi from NUDIPI. And he has enlightened us on very many things, what the Electoral Commission can do, what the various political parties can do to ensure that we no longer have the masqueraders taking positions that are not rightfully theirs. But yes, we have been discussing the address of election violence, or rather should I say the challenges that people with disabilities have been facing during the registration exercise and during elections. And definitely we do hope that these challenges can be addressed in one way or another. But yes, we have come to the end of the show. Thank you for staying tuned till this time. And it is time for me to say goodbye and wish you a blessed day. But please do stay tuned for many more programs coming right up.
Issues at hand